What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today it's going to be a different kind of video. Unfortunately, like I mentioned in the previous Naruto Blazing video, it is shutting down, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everybody who, for all the content creators. I'm sorry for all the, you know, everybody who spent a lot of money in Blazing, and I do apologize for. I know this is a great loss because I know it might sound silly, but yeah, any gacha game that you've been playing for years, right? I mean, Blazing's been around for a couple years now, and I could only imagine what it's like after spending hundreds or thousands or how much money you spent on this game. And respect to all of you, and I am sorry. I know we don't really have another insanely good Naruto Blazing game, and in this video, I kind of just want to talk about some of the things that I believe that they could have done differently to help the game out. And hopefully Bandai doesn't give up on the Naruto gacha game IP, because in my honest opinion, the IP is huge, right? Naruto, if I had to say more times out of 10, I would probably put a bunch of Naruto fights over even DBZ, right? I love Naruto, a huge Naruto boy. And it is sad to see that, it's sad to see a great game go down. Well, it started off as a great game, which we'll get into. It started off really strong and it was good for a while, but after they just kind of dropped it on us, dude. They kind of just dropped it. The reason why I brought up this screen is just to give you guys an idea how it did. Remember, these sites are never 100%, right? They're never 100%, but regardless, even if it's not 200k and it was just a little bit lower than that, that's not too bad, right? In actuality, 200k for a gacha game, and I'm sure what they had, like the group of people that they had actually working on the game, wasn't substantial. And 50k downloads, yeah, that's definitely it's not a lot, but in a way it's kind of like I'm still a little surprised that it's shutting down with the amount of money that it's still making. I can't see November numbers because, again, these are, I mean, you could kind of see it in a way. I'm trying to see if there's any way that we could see that. Last updated. No, it's just giving us the, yeah, we're not gonna do all that. But again, in October they made 200k, right? So I want to go to the actual event timeline now. Let's talk about what we've gone through. Blazing. Remember back in the day, actually, and I'm sure, and some tweets were brought up by the boy Rhyme Style that he thought Blazing was doing better than Dokkan, and back then it was huge. Blazing was doing everything right. It had tons of events, it had tons of banners. It was very new, it was very fresh. They were very smart about a lot of the things that they did, but unfortunately they just never picked it back up, right? After a while they kind of just, especially this year obviously they kind of just threw it away, which is so surprising to me because I've talked to several other guys about it. I think, Naruto Blazing, I mean, the gameplay is solid, right? The gameplay is what, it's okay for a gacha game. I have no issues with the gameplay. The summon animations were dope. I always liked the animations. I thought they were pretty cool. Pro sales were, I mean, they had sales here and there, and it was decent. The rates, but other than that, like, it was a pretty good gacha game. Nonetheless, I guess what happened was, and basically, I might make a separate video going over Dokkan too, because Dokkan's kind of doing a very similar thing without doing content. Banners don't save games, and Blazing kind of gave up on events. It gave up on adding anything new to the table. They just kind of threw it away when they saw the revenue started dipping, I guess. But that's so odd to me. It's like, why would you throw such a big IP away? Like Blazing could have made a comeback. It literally could have made a comeback. They could have dropped tons of events. Maybe drop some really good baity banners, just stuff like that. But ultimately there was just nothing to do in the game. I started playing from the 4th year anniversary, a little bit before, because when I knew about that new Naruto and Sasuke that were coming out for 4th, I was like, dude, I gotta jump in on that. And then I played religiously for a while during the 4th year and for a couple months after even, but then the content just kind of died out. Like there's barely anything to do. And even looking at it now, it's like, again, they just really threw it. They threw Blazing away, which is so weird. It's like, this was so much money. Unless they're planning another gacha game, they could definitely be planning another Naruto gacha game, right? Bandai could definitely already be thinking about it. You know, they're like, you know what, let's shut this down. Like, because that's the thing. If your game's already kind of dying out, logically, you could just drop a new gotcha game that's gonna get everybody's attention because the IP is so big. But to get, you know, you're gonna get those millions of people playing the game at the very start, but it doesn't mean that they're gonna stick. Because again, Naruto Blazing 2016 was insane. It was the biggest thing on the market. People were blowing up on YouTube. The content creation was insane. People loved it. They did a phenomenal job. And when it first came out, and then obviously they just threw it out. They threw it away. And you know, I'm starting to see a similar almost pattern with Dokkan. Not as bad, but it's almost getting to that point that I'm like, what's going on with Bandai? What is going on with Bandai? That's like my main question. It's so weird. And I know the video is basically going over how I could have saved it. So if I was definitely a creator, obviously the smartest thing to do is just add new events, add better co-op, more events, more fun, give me a reason to log in. You know, basically just those things like that. Make better banners. You know, it's not very hard to get people to talk about a gacha game. I could tell you straight up, Bleach Brave Souls. People stopped playing Bleach, and then they decided, okay, you know what? You guys aren't happy with the game. You know, K-Lab went out of their way, started dropping tons of great banners, made everything a bit better, added tons of content, added better like they fixed up the PvP a little bit. They added more co-op options. They added so much more stuff in Bleach Brave Souls, and they're keeping that game alive because they are trying to. They listen to the community, and they're like, okay, we're listening. We're gonna fix it. Blazy, I feel like never even gave the community a shot. They never listened with like half the stuff that they've done. And it's unfortunate because again, the Naruto for a lot of people, including myself, is huge. It's like top, you know, it might not be like top fives in terms of overall animes because I think everybody kind of has like a stigma about shonens, right? But it's definitely like a top shonen. It's an amazing story, super impactful. It's something that's made me cry several times. And it's like, I would love a good Naruto game to make content on. I'm serious. I would love to do that. I have no issues making content on a Naruto game. I would love that. Imagine like, you know, some using Pain or Sage Mode Naruto or QB Naruto or, you know, Bakugan Net. Like there's just so many different options in Naruto, bro. There's so many characters that are interesting. Like there's, you know, and it's still going on. Boruto's still going. That's the craziest part, is that Boruto is still going on. Unless Blazing didn't have the rights to Boruto's anime. You guys could let me know. I don't know much about that. But like Boruto's anime is still going. Like they have an endless list of cards to do here. They could do revamps of old cards. They have Boruto. I'm not seeing any Boruto stuff here. But if maybe that's it. If there's a licensing issue with the Boruto stuff, completely understand. I do know there's that Voltage game. I know there's other Naruto gacha games, but they're not that great. They weren't like as hype as Blazing. Blazing was like the main Naruto gacha game, and I don't think people are gonna really want to play those other ones. I'm expecting Bandai just to drop a new one on us at some point. Hopefully learning from their past mistakes, because this is such a throwaway. Like, it's almost surprising to me that, you know, even though they were making, you know, close to, you know, again, this is not 100% factual, right? We don't know how much money they've really been making, but if they really did make 200K with the small team that they have probably producing this game, that's still not bad. It's still not like, in terms of gacha games, yeah, it's a little bad because I think, you know, Dokkan makes what, close to like a billion a year. I think last year was like 1.3 billion or some nonsense like that. Fate Grand Order makes like 3 or 4. So I understand in that light, but like, you're still 200K is a lot of money to just throw away there, unless again they have something else planned, which ultimately, you know, we'll find out in February. I believe that's when it's ending. February should be the end date, but I think that, you know, it's sad. And again, I can't say it enough to you guys. I am, you know, strongly sorry to everybody who spent money into the game, who's made content on this game, like to Kabuki. I mean, even Nagato, I'm sure it hit. I mean, dude, it hurts. It's never cool. Like, that's what it's going to be like when Dokkan shuts down. That's, you know, it's going to be very hard for a lot of people when Dokkan shuts down. And this is the reality. Every gacha game will shut down one day. And it's sad. It's sad, right? It's sad to think that So to everybody who watches this, I hope you're all right. You know, I know I'm starting very sentimental, but the thing is, I'm looking at it in my own way. Where if I, as a content creator, lost my game of choice, which is Dokkan, I would be destroyed, bro. I would be depressed out of my mind. I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I would have to obviously find another gacha game, but like Dokkan's been there for me more than my friends have half the time. And you know, it's sad. It really is sad, and I feel for all of you in a in a certain light because again, Dokkan hasn't been shut down yet, but when it does, dude, I can only imagine what you guys are going through. So I just want to really highlight that, and I hope all of you are okay. You know, again, a lot of you guys might be like, dude, man, what's the hell? Why is this guy exaggerating? Like, no, dude, it's just like I mentioned, Dokkan has saved my life a couple times, giving me something to look forward to during like my most depressed, my most depressed episodes. And I could only imagine that blazing was an outlet for a lot of you. So I do hope that you guys are okay. I hope you guys find another gacha game to jump into. For all the content creators, I'm sorry. Hope you guys, you know, figure it out and you guys just find another game to jump into. I mean, Dokkan's still going, but obviously there's a lot of people. There's going to be some new games coming out next year with like the My Hero stuff and all that, dude. So, you know, it's definitely a sad time, boys. It's a sad time. And I do hope, again, I hope you guys are all fine. We'll get you through this. We'll get through this together. But again, if I had any choice, more events, better banners, new summon animations, just a complete overhaul. Which I wish they could have just done a complete overhaul instead of just canceling it. So it is a bit sad. But I'm probably going to go ahead and wrap up here. I think that's enough for a rambling video. I do apologize if this went on for a little while. I know it's like about 12 minutes. So again, to each and every one of you, hope you're okay. We will get through this. Hope you guys enjoy the last couple months of Blazing. All the content creators, make as much as you can. Just make as much as you guys can and all that goodness. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody, and peace out.